Pewdiepie. A pretty small YouTuber. He's like underground. I don't think you would have heard about him. Okay, seriously. Pewdiepie, a colossal giant on YouTube, a veteran who has been around for years and will be around for many years to come, the biggest individual content creator with 110 million subscribers. For one person, that is an unbelievable statistic. Now, I won't go on and on about who he is. If you've clicked on this video, you know Pewdiepie. I don't need to elaborate. Instead, I'll talk about my experience with him so you can learn how much of a fanboy I am. I think I first came across Pewdiepie in 2012, back when Let's Play channels were booming in popularity. I was watching so many of these types of channels. Toby Games, Sky Does Minecraft, Jacksepticeye, Captain Sparkles, KSI, Stampy. Think of any Let's Play channel that was big between 2010 and 2015, I was probably watching them, with PewDiePie being one of the channels that I'd watch the most. I could not get enough of this lad. I loved his videos on horror games, Happy Wheels, just anything he put up. He could have put up a video of paint drying and I would be sitting there with the biggest smile on my face. And to this day, I'll still watch his videos. I mean, I haven't watched Let's Play channels in over 5 years, but since PewDiePie's content evolves, it still remains fresh. Now, despite some circumstances, PewDiePie's immense size has obviously led to deals and collaborations. Signed to a subsidiary of Disney, a YouTube Red series, an appearance in South Park, a plethora of merchandise, and of course, his very own video games. Since 2014, PewDiePie has worked with indie developer Outerminds on video games. If you go on their website, you'll see that they have made Pixelings, H3H3 Ball Rider, Tuber Simulator, and... that seems to be it. That's weird, cause there is another game that Outerminds worked on with PewDiePie, a game released back in 2015, 6 years ago. Of course, that game being... Pewdiepie, Legend of the Brofist, is a game that nobody talks about anymore. Not even on PewDiePie's very own subreddit do I see a post about this game. On the App Store, if you search up PewDiePie, they show Dog Simulator before Legend of the Brofist. Now, there's possible reasons why this game is never mentioned, but nonetheless, I'm still upset at how underappreciated this game is. Usually, a video game based on a YouTuber is horrendous, but Legend of the Brofist was a very rare case at the time. Well, I say it was, but it still is a rare case today as we still witness atrocities like this. You see, Outerminds did the unthinkable and made the game good instead of a shameless cash grab. They poured actual time and effort into creating an enjoyable experience for not only PewDiePie's fans, but also for fans of retro platformers. Now, just because no one talks about it these days doesn't mean there wasn't a lot of hype around this game at launch. I mean, the biggest YouTube channel at the time promoting a video game that also featured other popular creators, you would have to have the intellect of a Marvel fan to think that wouldn't lead to a successful launch. In just the first day, Legend of the Brofist grossed over $100,000 in the United States. It received dozens upon dozens of positive reviews. A 4.8 out of 5 on both the Apple and Google Store, 90% on Steam, a 77 from outlets on Metacritic, and a 4.6 from users on Metacritic. Wow, that's harsh, but the users definitely make fair points. I have given this game a great big 0, mainly because of what it represents. It represents the decline in human intelligence, the mass de-evolution of human beings, the collective of moronic sheep currently populating the planet, social media, and the internet. These kids are groomed into liking him due to his epic These kids are groomed into liking him due to his epic brofist, which is either a very creepy section. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I'm never gonna finish this sentence. These kids are groomed into liking him due to his epic brofist, which is either a very creepy sexual move or a way to greet someone. I'm not entirely sure. I'm merely trying to add balance to the world and rating it 0 to stop the planet from imploding with stupidity. Well, lad, those are definitely fair and justified arguments. Regardless, this was one of the most critically and commercially acclaimed mobile games of 2015. I remember playing this close to launch and being addicted. I think I almost completed the entire game. This was one of my favorite mobile games ever. It continued to get updates in 2016 before it slowly faded into obscurity as PewDiePie and Outerminds released Tuber Simulator in September of that year. And while Legend of the Brofist fell off after a year, Tuber Simulator continues to strive almost 5 years later, which made me wonder, was Legend of the Brofist even that good? Like, Surely there's a reason why no one ever brings up this game. Were we just blinded by the hype and only thought this game was good because PewDiePie's name was slapped onto it? I wanted to do some investigating, so I booted up the PC version, and for the first time in almost 6 years, I played PewDiePie, Legend of the Brofist.
What the dog doing?
The game begins with an upbeat soundtrack, a nice pixelated art style, and some... well, they tried their best with the voice acting.
Great! A new video to upload. I wonder how many views my last video got.
All your fans belong to us.
You damn barrels! You'll never capture me!
So the plot of this game is that PewDiePie's fans have been captured by the Barrel King in order to acquire the legendary Brofist. Jesus Christ, that screams 2013. Yeah, while the plot isn't that important, you're not going to understand or fully appreciate it unless you watched PewDiePie back in the day. I mean, you could still find enjoyment from how stupid the plot is, but you're also going to be like, who the fuck is Stefano? But if you know who Stefano is, I like you. You should subscribe. Only 99% of you are subscribed, and that is a very small and disheartening number. So hitting that red button with the notifications on would really help. And who knows, maybe the voices in my head will stop getting louder. Anyways, after that brief setup, we get our first taste of the gameplay. Legend of the Brofist is a 2D side-scrolling platformer, and it's fun. It's a carefully crafted and well-made platformer with fairly tight controls and a decent challenge. Usually the levels are getting from the start to the finish, but there's also ones where you have to wait for an escape route or the occasional boss fight. And like I was saying there, the difficulty is a bit tough. You can't just sleepwalk your way through these levels. You actually have to focus on what you're doing or else you'll die over and over. To be fair, I was playing on hard, but I say the regular difficulty still wouldn't be on par with Kirby. However, I would recommend the hard difficulty. I think that hits the sweet spot of challenging but not frustrating. So in these levels, you have a number of hearts as your health bar, you have a buddy to accompany you, and you can equip 2 different abilities. At the start of the game, you only have 1 character and 2 abilities, but you unlock more as you progress through the story. Characters like Marzia, Markiplier, Cinnamon Toast Ken, Jacksepticeye, and... Dream. That's Dream, guys. He just looked a little different back in the day because he wasn't faking his speedruns yet. Yep, I really like how each character has their own unique abilities, as it gives you the incentive to try out every character instead of sticking with just one. Markiplier's pink stash is a godsend in some levels. The amount of customization and options here give you a reason to go back and play this game again. Not only to collect coins to buy characters and abilities, but also to try them out in levels. It also makes the YouTubers featured feel worthwhile and not like shitty cameos. The levels are also a blast. They're well designed and unique in every stage. The aesthetic constantly switches up so it never gets old or repetitive. They constantly introduce new enemies to keep the gameplay fresh and not stagnant. There's even a section on the moon where the low gravity throws you off because at this point in the game, you think you've mastered the platforming and the game throws another challenge at you. Legend of the Brofist is short. It only took me 3 hours to beat this game. But those were 3 hours of good, entertaining and exciting levels. The game never slows down with throwing new locations, obstacles and enemies at you. Outerminds made absolutely sure this game was completely packed with fun. I'm not the biggest platformer guy, I usually stick to Mario, but for a platformer, this is really good. Not the best, but I was blown away by how much I enjoyed this, especially for a mobile game where it first came out. The best platformers on iOS are games like fucking Leps World. So going from that to Legend of the Brofist is jarring because this is leagues above any other platformer on the App Store. The artwork is really well done here. They managed to capture that 16-bit era of platformers with these graphics and the character sprites look super crisp. Everyone is given their own unique animations, such as Markiplier... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Gangnam Style, Markiplier!
But yeah, graphically, very, very good job here. My only problem with this game would be the voice acting. It is so bad. Like, I understand, these are YouTubers, not professional actors, but that still doesn't stop me from cringing at PewDiePie's forced delivery.
You should never mess with the pros.
Not everyone is bad here. Like, Markiplier does a good job with his lines. I'm mentioning Markiplier a lot, haven't I? I swear I'm not biased. It is charming to listen to people trying their absolute best to sound convincing, but it's still a gripe that I have with this game. Overall, PewDiePie Legend of the Brofist is a surprisingly good platformer as well as a time capsule. This game is the embodiment of PewDiePie's old content. There were plenty of references that would please any longtime fan, but even if you weren't a fan of PewDiePie's old content, I think you would still like the game. The plot is minimal and gameplay is the main focus here. Even if you don't get the jokes, you'll still have fun with the game. If you're a longtime fan and you haven't played this game, what is wrong with you? Take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and think, damn, I haven't played a game that I would most definitely enjoy. It's not even that expensive. Anyways, Pewdiepie Legend of the Brofist is a well-made, entertaining game that perfectly emulates a 16-bit era platformer. It has a fair but challenging difficulty, a plethora of customization, distinct and diverting levels, and other nooks and crannies that any longtime Pewdiepie fan will get a kick out of. If I was to score this game, I would give it an 8. I genuinely think Outerminds and Pewdiepie himself did a wonderful job here. So I played Legend of the Brofist and my doubts have been put to rest. No, it is not a bad game, but that still doesn't answer my question. Why does no one talk about this game? Why do Pewdiepie and Outerminds act like it doesn't exist? Now, some will say it's because of a YouTuber in this game. They have serious allegations surrounding them at the moment. And yes, that is a solid reason for Pewdiepie and Outerminds to distance themselves from this game, but that incident happened last year. Legend of the Brofist was still ignored before then. There is a genuine reason why this game isn't talked about nowadays, but what about before? Cause surely there's another reason why this game is universally ignored. Honestly, I can't come up with the best reason why. No matter where I look, it's simply forgotten about by everyone, so I don't even know where to start with my research. But here's my take on why this game isn't talked about anymore. First of all, it is dated. It's a game that perfectly embodies the old Pewdiepie, but not the new one. Pewdiepie isn't a Let's Player who screams Brofist anymore. He's not that guy. Why would he promote a game that doesn't represent his modern style of content and humor? I'm sure he's still proud of his first ever dive into video games, but it simply doesn't match him anymore. I think the other reason why is because of Tuber Simulator. Now, I do prefer Legend of the Brofist, but Tuber Simulator makes much more sense as a mobile game. It's more accessible than Legend of the Brofist, and it's one of those games that you can hop on for a few minutes before going about your day. Plus, Tuber Simulator is better from a business standpoint. While it is completely free to play, Tuber Simulator has ads as well as in-game currency. The ads and currency likely provide a lot more revenue for both Outerminds and Pewdiepie. Plus, it's easier for Outerminds to constantly update this game and keep its player base's attention. It's yet to feel dated as it doesn't include old references. It's never ending, so people are always going to play this game without getting bored quickly. Tuber Simulator is perfectly designed for mobile users, and the same can be said for Pixelings as well. Legend of the Brofist is a niche product, and you can only do so many updates for this game before running out of steam. I cannot see Tuber Simulator or Pixelings reaching the level of irrelevancy that Legend of the Brofist has been in for a very long time. So yeah, I don't know if that's an accurate answer as to why everyone forgot about this game, but if you know why, or if you can come up with a better reason why, let me know in the comments down below. And you should play Legend of the Brofist, it's very good. Anyways, bros, I'm gonna peace out. Brofist. Oh my god, how did Pewdiepie say that without wanting to kill himself for so long? Thanks for watching my video. Remember when I said I was going to be consistent with my uploads? That's hilarious. I'm not even going to promise you anything this time. For all I know, the next video could be in 2022. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, also, I featured on my friend's podcast if you want to go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. We played Crunker as well, and I was okay, I guess. I was fine. Anyways, I'll catch you in a bit. In a bit. And, subscribe.